About 1,500 high school students in the progressive San Francisco Bay Area city of Berkeley walked out of class on Wednesday to protest against Trump's election victory. The students held a rally in the courtyard of the school before marching towards the University of California. Eyewitnesses say teachers were also among those who walked out with the students. In Washington, D.C., about 200 West Seattle High School students also walked out of their classes on Wednesday morning and marched through the streets in protest. The marches followed a night of protest also around the Bay Area. But what will Trump as U.S. president mean for Africa? Let's bring in the Chief Executive Officer of Image Consulting Group, Remi Duyile, who joins us via Skype from the United States to discuss this. First off, there's been speculation as to how much does Trump himself know about Africa? What's your take?
Thank you very much. It's a morning that's full of mixed feelings, of course. My candidate didn't make it, and Mr. Trump is the president-elect. Let me say that leadership is majority, and as leaders, majority would have to kick in. I have, all day yesterday, I was indoors watching the reactions of these three great leaders that would help shape the new America. Such a person was Hillary Clinton. If you watched her concession speech, graceful way of doing that, you will be amazed that America is ready to move forward. If you also watched President Obama's congratulatory message to the president-elect, you would also see that it's time to move on. If you watch and listen to President-elect Donald Trump's acceptance speech, you would see a sober man who knows now that work is beginning, that all the funfair is over, let's get to work. So as a business person, I see that a lot of knowledge will be needed to be imparted about what is Africa to someone like a Donald Trump. Of course, he might know Africa, but from a business perspective, from what we need in Africa, he might need to get more knowledge in that. And that's where we come in. I believe that in leadership, protesting or creating chaos, two wrongs would never make a right. And we just need to stand together and see how can we as Africans present our case, present our desires to our president, because no president determines business single-handedly. I've owned my business under a Republican president, so have I under a Democratic president. It's what you bring to the table. So what I say to my fellow Africans or fellow minorities, let's see what value proposition do we bring to the table? What are the needs? This is a country with true democracy. So if you are ready to work and roll up your sleeves, this is a good time to educate, to really expose what we know about Africa so that people can really leverage us as Africans. It's the last emerging economy in the world. And I'm sure Mr. Trump is a businessman, and he will fail Africa.
All right, Remi, there's been some rather peculiar posts now that have been trending on internet, especially where Nigerians are living in America are concerned. We see funny memes of, Nigerians, pictures of Nigerians packing out, basically leaving the United States for home. That's here in Nigeria. Is this paranoia? Should Nigerians and other people living in America be afraid now?
Not at all. If you have something going for you, my sister, wherever you are, a man or a woman cannot chase you out of it. If you have a purpose, if you have a structure, if you have something that you're working on, nobody can have you pack. Who can have me? I can pack away from America now. I would desire to do whatever I want to do as a business person. So for those who are doing that, I think it's more like a paranoia. Of course, he said a lot of horrible and hurtful things, but great leaders move beyond hurtful things because we're all going to live together as one America, like I want to say Madam President, like Hillary Clinton said. We've got to move on. If we want this legacy, if we want this America to thrive, we need to think beyond what he said. He said a lot of things. If I sat here and start to think of it, I mean, I will be disgusted. But life has to go on, not just for us, for our children. I have 3 beautiful children in the system who are doing wonderfully well in corporate America and so forth and in school. I'm not going to just pack my stuff. I have value I'm rendering to the United States of America. So we just need to figure, how do we get involved? How do we do business differently? It's not a time to panic. Panicking to where? There's panic everywhere all over the world. I don't know of a perfect country yet. I'm not packing yet, and I don't plan to do that, but I do plan to engage Mr. Trump and his administration on matters that affect Africa. That I'm rolling my sleeves to be heavily involved in that.
Should Africa have a singular agenda now that Trump is in the saddle, well, as from January 20 next year, of course, but what should Africa's approach now to Trump be? Should it be on a nation-by-nation basis or as a continent?
That's $1 million question. But I would say to you that I have attended events shortly before this final campaign and election results that they brought in representatives from President-elect and from the Democratic Party. Hearing those two sides speak at the Wilson Center tells me that there are people that he might have tapped on their shoulder on different issues because this person was representing him for something that was happening at the Wilson Center on Africa. So when people are not knowledgeable about something and they build a team around them, they will get results. So what I encourage President-elect Trump to do is to get the right people on the African agenda. He cannot do without Africa. He cannot do without any of those people that he has alienated. And I think he remorsefully showed that on the night of his acceptance speech. He said he's accepting this on behalf of us. He knows he can't do it alone. So I believe that as Africans, I don't know that America is ready for us to do one-on-one dealing with 52 plus countries. I mean, they have their own issues. I still think that there should be that one Africa unison, but working with concerted effort to ensure that whatever our agendas are as Africans, that we speak in unison, we speak in one accord, and then we go after it. It doesn't have to be a laundry list of everything that we desire. Let's have maybe top 5 priority things that we as Africans come together to figure out. And when I say we, not us alone in the diaspora, everywhere that Africans are represented that have an interest in America. Let's prioritize and let's take it to the White House. Let's take it to whosoever. That's why you have your diaspora. We are here. I'm not packing yet, and I don't plan to pack. I will visit my country as much as I want to, and I mean, open my country up so that people can know that Nigeria is a brand to be reckoned with. And that's what I do every day. And I'm a proud Nigerian American and stays that way.
All right, Remi, I hope you will relate with my translation of the Yoruba prayer that, well, we pray that Trump's reign as president will be a good one indeed for the world. Remi Duyile from Maryland, the U.S., thanks a lot for your time with TVC.